Right, welcome to this Codex review here. Very interesting, this one. Codex Imperial Agents, one of this new Codex that's come out here. Coming up to the 30th anniversary of Warhammer 40,000. I've heard there's sort of changes coming, or events going to take place in the world of Warhammer 40,000, in the timeline, storyline. I think there's some releases coming out. This one here, Imperial Agents, is something to sort of preparing the way for what's to come. Exciting times ahead, I think, as far as Warhammer 40,000 is concerned. But in this video, we're going to review Codex Imperial Agents. I've been flicking through it here, some fascinating entries. It just brings, it pulls together some various, not factions, but there's certain units within the Imperium that aren't in other codexes. It's just sort of odds and ends here and there, and what they've done is pulled it all together in one codex. You'll see the different sort of factions, sub-factions here, that now you can take as little smaller detachments and you can introduce in. So for example, Imperial Guard players, I think you'll find this really interesting. You can add in a small detachment of something else just to spice up your Imperial Guard army. Space Marines as well. You can add in some Imperial Agents detachments into your force as well. It just means it's all officially done. Point structures and upgrades are all there, and then the right formations and detachments are there for you to use. So I think it's just going to help streamline things. But some fascinating entries in here, some units that I've never encountered before in any games of 40k, and I think there's some gems in here as well. So you're going to find this very, very interesting, this review of Codex Imperial Agents. So I've got mine from gamingfigures.com. They do Games Workshop at a discounted rate, 15% off. And then if your order comes to over £100, they give you another 5% off on top of that. And then in the UK, if you're a customer in the UK, then orders over £40, you get free delivery as well. And all those bonuses, they just help to get a hold of your Games Workshop stuff at a discounted rate. And they do a whole lot of other different gaming systems as well. They do Age of Sigmar and Lord of the Rings, and then a load of other gaming systems also at discounted prices. So you can check them out. That's gamingfigures.com. So Imperial Agents, real some fascinating units in here, and ones that go all the way back to the start of Warhammer 40,000 as well. So you can see some sort of older sculpted miniatures as well as some new ones as well, just because these units are stretched out so far in the history of Games Workshop as a gaming company, as Warhammer 40,000 as a gaming system. So I'd be interested in some of these. I've seen these on the fringe of games, but hardly ever encountered these. I mean, James of Terror does lovely Sisters of Battle army. We've seen them, but some of these other units just haven't encountered them yet. It'd be fascinating to have a look at these. So Sisters of Battle, I mean, interesting that this has come out. I was under the impression that Sisters of Battle are being redone in plastic, but they've gone ahead with this new book with the older miniatures. It's just an interesting, maybe they just have to get this one out early on. Probably they'll aim to get plastic Sisters of Battle done to go with an official Sisters of Battle Codex separate from this, I think. Superb artwork here. This one's fantastic. So I find it interesting. You rank and file Imperial Guardsmen, very regimented, and then you've got these sort of the stranger aspects of the Imperium here, sort of the hierarchical type stuff, sort of the religious-y more side of things, ecclesiastical, which is hard to describe really, but that's that more the deeper side of the Imperium, which is more this Imperial Agents Codex is what we're looking at here. It's another superb illustration, Skitarii with a Titan in the background. Part of the inspiration for my Skitarii, doing Skitarii and then having an Imperial Knight with them. We've got flyers here, Psychers, just all these subdivisions within the Imperial Army. Sisters of Battle, the Bane of Aliens, that's your Death Watch is included in here. It's interesting. Army of Titans, the Grey Knights are in here. I heard, one of the rumours I heard was that Grey Knights, their codex is going to go, and they're just going to be in this book, but I don't think so by what I'm seeing inside the codex here. Then there's these guys, the Legion of the Damned, beautiful miniatures, but maybe sometimes people struggle to incorporate them into armies. I hope this book will help out with that. Then you've got these here, the Imperial Assassins. Tempted to take one of them, put them in. You know, I think James will find this the most interesting, just to look for some new units to put in with his Imperial Guard. Emperor's Will, the Warriors of the Emperor. There is so much diversity. You know, that gap between Space Marines, Imperial Guard, there's a host of other interesting units and factions to add in. Just some of the artwork here. Some of these I've never seen in games. It's beautiful miniatures. These are particularly nice. That one, love that miniature there. That Tech Priest looks superb. Astropath, Master of the Fleet. James has those miniatures. So, ranged weapons, melee weapons. Maybe we'll come back to this. Interesting they put this at this end of the Codex. So, the first section then. So I'm going to go through these units and sort of, I'll come from the angle of if I was to collect these or add in certain units into my army, which ones I would choose. We'll try and find good options here and then sort of look at it from a visual point of view as well. I do like units that look good and look cool as well. So first up is Cult Mechanicus. So yeah, so this is an example of what I'm... Yeah, this is very interesting. This is really interesting. So units on the following pages, Tech Priest engines here, have the Cult Mechanicus faction, shown by icon below. They're part of the armies of Imperium and ally as such, as described in the ally section. So they can ally with, you know, Imperial Guard, Space Marines, so on. So then here is the detachment. It's 1 HQ is compulsory and then 1 elite's optional. Very, very tiny detachments. So you could take 1 HQ and add it into your army and then that's it. You don't have to take loads. So gone are the days of heavy restrictions and struggling to intermingle armies. You know, maybe you could take an allied faction, but here the smallest of detachments can now be added into Imperial armies. I think it's fascinating, really, really good. It creates access now to miniatures like this. You know, I could take this one, stick him in with my Imperial Fists, Skitari. So, restrictions. HQ chosen in this detachment must be a Tech Priest engine seer, and the elites unit chosen in this detachment must be a unit of servitors. All units from this detachment have the Cult Mechanicus faction. Canticles of the Omnicia. Units from this detachment have Canticles of the Omnicia special rule. We'll maybe check that out. Just here, just a reminder. So it's here. At the start of each of your turns, you can choose 1 Canticle of the Omnicia from the list below. The effects of each Canticle last until the start of your next turn, unless otherwise stated. Each Canticle can only be used once during the game. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can go from one to another. Strength of each Canticle varies according to the number of units performing it. At the start of your turn, add up the number of friendly units on the battlefield that have Canticles of Omnicia special rule. Apply the appropriate level of effect. Do not include units that are falling back. Once a Canticle has been activated, it remains at the level of effect until the beginning of your next turn, even if the number of the units performing it changes during the turn. And then following special rules and characteristic modifiers apply to all friendly units with the Canticles and Omnicia special rule. Just an example here, Incantation of the Iron Soul. You get Stubborn, and then for units, alright, so that's for morale, pushing up there, Stubborn, and then Stubborn reroll morale, Fear and Pinning, and then Fearless for 8+ units. Such a small detachment, just be interesting to see what the smaller results are. Chant of the Remorseless Fist, reroll hit rolls of 1. In combat here, Shroud Psalm, Stealth, Shrouded, Stealth and Shrouded. So small bonuses for small units, small numbers of units, and it just gets bigger and better the more units you add in. There's reroll 1s for shooting, reroll 1s and 2s, and then straight rerolls. +1 strength, +2 strength, +3 strength. And then enemy units suffer a strength 4 AP-hit For each model with the Canticles and Initia special rule in units that are locked in combat, resolved initiative step 10. Right, and then just gets better. Okay. Just some small bonuses there. So, a Tech Priest Engine Sears, 40 points. Tempting little bargain here, perhaps. Can add in maybe even to the Sakatari army. Just like the model. It's a brilliant model. I haven't seen this one. I'm not sure if it's a lead one or a plastic one or not, but it's a very nice model indeed. So, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength and toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 3, 1 attack, leadership 8, and a 3+ save. That's what's kept the points cost down. The stat line's pretty low there, but it does have 3+ armor save. It's got las pistol, power axe, a servo arm, and then frag and crack grenades. Servo arms times 2 strength, so it'll be at strength 6, AP1 in combat, melee specialist, and unwieldy, so a nasty combat attack there. And then independent character, awaken the machine. In each of your shooting phases, instead of firing his weapons, the engine seer may choose a single friendly Astra Militarum vehicle within 12. Right, okay, so it is limited to Imperial card. That vehicle gains the power of the machine's spirit, special rule until the end of the turn. Okay, Jensen was using these in his guard list. Blessings of the Omniscient. In each of your shooting phases, instead of firing his weapons, the engine seer may choose to repair a single friendly vehicle that he is in base contact with or embarked upon. Roll d6 if it's and add 1 for each servitor. If the result with 5 or more, you may either restore a hull point, repair, weapon destroyed, or immobilized. Okay. Then you can take melter bombs, digital weapons, and then refractor field as well. It's handy having that option. Yeah, probably wouldn't go for, like, not too keen on the servitors. I think they need to be redone. But they're not too bad, but I think they could be redone. Just that's that possibility. Small little detachment, pretty cheap in points. So that's that. See, small little, it's just all bits all lumped together in one book. So I think it's a pretty good job. Aeronautica Imperialis is next. So again, Imperial Navy section. Really cool. So Imperial Navy, 1 fast attack option, which is going to be a flyer, and then you can take an HQ as an optional. And then air superiority, you can reroll failed reserve rolls for units from this detachment. So pretty reliable reserves you can bring in here. Officer of the Fleets, 20 points. Ballistic skill 4 here, weapon skill 3, ballistic strength and toughness 3, initiative 3, leadership 7, 5 up save. Close combat weapon and frag grenades. So Navy orders, an officer of the fleet may take a leadership test at the beginning of your turn before any reserve rolls are made. If the test is successful, choose one of the following Navy orders to immediately take effect. If you have more than one officer of the fleet, all modifiers are cumulative. So, you choose either of these two. You either +1 bonus to your reserve rolls during your turn, but you have to pass the leadership test, which is quite difficult because leadership 7. Or intercept reserves, your opponent suffers -1 penalty to reserve rolls. So it could come in handy. 20 points, probably wouldn't bother. You may replace close combat weapon with a las pistol, digital weapons for 10 points, and then refractor field. Probably wouldn't bother any of those. It's maybe handy, maybe 2 of them might be more. You know, to get a double minus, 2 lots of -1 on your opponent, and then 2 pluses for your own reserves to turn up. That would be quite an impact on the game. And then Valkyries then, 125 points, just means you can add in one of these to, you could take a Space Marine army and then bring in an Imperial Navy section. I think you could just go ahead and do that. So that's the rules for Valkyries. Don't really need to go into this one. I'm probably going to cover more of the unique units found inside the book here, but Valkyries there as an option, and then you can take the Navy officer there, officer of the fleet, as your HQ. You don't have to. You could just take a Valkyrie. Can you take the Vendetta option? No, you can't. Okay, that's their missiles there. either the range 72 strength 8 ones or the 24-inch large blast strength 4 AP6. So that's that section done. Next is Adeptus Astra Telepathica, and again a Psychana division, tiny little detachment here. So Empiric Link, if you take this one, it's 1 HQ and then up to 3 elites. The Primaris or Astropath from this detachment harnesses warp charge points on a 3+ when attempting to manifest psychic powers within 12 of 5 or more word vein psychers from the Psychana division. Primaris Psyker is 50 points. It's Martial level 1. Web skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 3, 2 wounds, which is handy for like perils of the warp and so on. 2 attacks, leadership 9, it's good, and a 5+ save. Las pistol, force weapon, frag grenades, and a refractor field. It's Martial level 1. It's for your own good. If a primary psyker suffers peril of the warp whilst in the same unit as a commissar, the primary psyker will be executed after resolving the power's effects. Remove the primary psyker as a casualty. Okay. And then you've got access to Biomancy, Divination, Pyromancy, and Telekinesis. You can go up to Martial level 2, 25 points. And then you can take digital weapons, is 10 points. So the Primaris. That's your HQ. Another one here is the Astropath. Very cheap, 25 points. Low stat line, ballistic skill of 4 though. And then if your Astropathic orders, if your Astropath successfully manifests a psychic power during your turn, you can choose to reroll any reserve rolls in your next turn. Cool, little bonus there. And he's got access to Divination and Telepathy, and for another 25 points you can go up to Martial level 2. I'll probably just keep him as he is. 25 points is nothing. Suddenly get access to psychic powers. Yeah, not bad at all. And there's some options there as well. You can take digital weapons and refractor field. Then on to elites. Word Vein Psychers is 60 points for 5 of them. Yep. Just looks like a bargain here. Strength 2 though, weapon skill 2. They don't look particularly healthy. Las pistol, close combat weapon. They've got access to Biomancy, Divination, Pyromancy, and Telekinesis. Nice broad. Yeah, nice broad options there. And then Brotherhood of Psychers, Master level 1. There's a bit of absorption there. There's 5 wounds for your opponent to try and get through to wipe them out. And you can take more. You can take another 5 for 12 points each. So you can create a pretty potent psychic bubble there. You can take a unit of these, 10 of these, put an Astropath and a primary psycho with them. You've got a pretty powerful bunch there. Okay, so that's them done. So again, another small detachment. I mean, even an army you have multiple small detachments attached to your force. There's so much flexibility with these, and it also creates a scope for you to really go for some interesting themes with your army as well. I mean, imagine you collect Imperial Guard, you've got a standard Imperial Guard army, you're a little bit tired of it, you've used it over and over, but you can inject in a small detachment. It doesn't take much, a few minutes just to buy, not many points, and you can swap them in, swap a unit out, and then it could really change the shape of your army, make it more fun and interesting, just add a bit of diversity to it. So it's handy having a book like this. It just streamlines the possibilities of doing that and gives you these really small, handy little detachment options. So that's that section done. Right, Adepta Sororitas, however you say it, or Sisters of Battle here. So 2 different detachments here. A Ministorum Delegation, this is your small one, 1 HQ and an optional of an elite. All units of this detachment have Shield of Faith, which we'll look up. We'll look these up because I've never done a Sisters of Battle Codex review, so this is new here. I've not covered this before on the channel. Shield of Faith, 6+ Invuln save and Adamantium Will. Pretty good. Just a little bonus freebie. And then a Vestal Task Force is the larger detachment. 1 HQ compulsory, 2 troops you have to take and 1 elite. But optional is a total of 6 troops, 3 elites, 3 fast, 3 heavy, and you can take an extra HQ as well. Army of Faith. Once per game at the start of any of your turns you can declare that the units in this detachment will pray for salvation. If you do so, then all units in this detachment can re-roll any saving throws of 1 until the start of your next turn. It's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad. Especially power armor. 3+ save and then re-roll the 1s is actually pretty good. And then Blessed Warrior. If this detachment is your primary detachment, you can re-roll the result and rolling on your Warlord traits. Okay. Those are war gear options. So, I wonder if they're going to list all the Sisters of Battle options. I'm not sure. Okay, so Canoness is the first HQ. 65 points. Weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5, and then strength and toughness 3, wounds 3, initiative 4, 3 attacks, leadership 10, and a 3+ save. Pretty good stat line for 65 points. Pretty good. Bolt pistol, chainsword, frag and crack grenades, and then you've got some rules here. Then so Act of Faith. Here, some units noted as having an Act of Faith special rule. Different units have different acts of faith, each of which is named in the entry along with the specific rules it bestows when used. So acts of faith doesn't say here. Okay. A unit with Act of Faith special can attempt to use its Act of Faith immediately before it acts during a phase, immediately before the unit moves in the movement phase, or shoots or runs in the shooting phase, or strikes blows in the assault phase. To do so, the unit must take a leadership test, which is leadership 10. If the test is failed, nothing happens. That unit cannot attempt to use the Act of Faith again for the rest of the battle. Right. If the test is passed, the Act of Faith is successful. Unless otherwise stated, all models in the unit will immediately gain a special rule until the end of the current turn. The special rule gained will be listed in the unit's Act of Faith entry, along with which phases the Act of Faith can be attempted in. Unless stated otherwise, the unit can only attempt to use 1 Act of Faith per game. No, it can only attempt to use an Act of Faith once per game, and a unit cannot attempt to use more than 1 Act of Faith in the same phase. A unit can only attempt to use an Act of Faith if it is entirely comprised of models with either the Act of Faith or War Hymns special rule. Right. So I then go to here and it just says Act of Faith, page 78. It doesn't say. Oh, this is the Act of Faith here. Okay, fine. Then you've got independent character. We'll go to this one now. The Passion. Now this is the Act of Faith for her. Once, one use only. This Act of Faith can be used in either player's assault phase. If successful, all models in the Canoness's unit gain hatred special until the end of the turn. Alright, so there it is. It's got independent character. And then Martyrdom. Model with Martyrdom special rule. If it's your Warlord and that model is removed as a casualty during the battle, all friendly units wholly comprised of models of the Act of Faith special rule automatically pass all leadership tests to the end of your next turn. Okay, so some little rules here that can easily be forgotten in the middle of a game. But it's another little bonus. Shield of Faith, which you've seen, so Adamantium on a 6+ Invuln. And then Stubborn as well. So good one for getting units to hold their ground in combat. Nice leadership test. Leadership value. Stubborn as well. Yeah, and then combat, pretty good. Weapon skill 5. 3 attacks. Not bad at all. Options then, you can take a bolt gun for free. You can take a power weapon for 15 points. It's only going to be striking at strength 3 though, so whether that's good enough. And then the Eviscerator is 30 points. Might be an idea. And then one weapon can be replaced with a Stormbolter, Combi, Melter, Flame or Plasma, a Condemnor bolt gun. I'll have to look this one up. Strength 5 AP dash, Psi Shock, 1 use only. One use only. If unit containing at least one model with a Psychic Roll, Psychic Sorcerer or Psychic Pilot special roll is hit by a weapon of Psi Shock special roll, one randomly determined Psychic model in that unit suffers perils of the warp in addition to any other damage. Interesting. Not bad actually. Could mess up your opponent's Psyker. Just got to get a hit. And she's Ballistic Skill 5, so it may not be points wasted then. Range 24 as well, so. It's hit, yeah, it's just hit, not even to wound, so not bad. Plasma Pistol 15 points, Inferno Pistol 15. You can take a Rosarius for 15 points, Melter Bombs, and then Ecclesiarchy Relics is available as well, which I think comes off a bit later. So not bad, there's some pretty good rules there for the Canoness, really worth bearing inside our unit. But maybe take an Eviscerator, I reckon. And do like the idea of the Condemner Bolt Gun as well. It's a little surprise hidden there. And worth going for, I think, because you've got a 2+ to hit and then you just sort of peril straight away. Ministorian Priest. So I think James needs units like this to boost his guard. No, maybe not just as a battle, but some of these other options here in the book. So Ministorian Priest, 25 points. Standard Imperial stat line, just it has an extra attack though, so 2 attacks as standard for him. Close combat weapon, a las pistol, frag and crack grenades, and a Rosarius. For him, these are cheap. And Zealot. And then a model with a special rule can take a leadership test at the beginning of each fight subphase, leadership 7, which is locked in combat, sort of half a chance you're going to pass. If the test is successful, choose one of the following war hymns. So Emperor Protects, you reroll all failed armor and invuln saves. That's an incredible ability granted there. Yeah, cheap 25 point unit. You take 1 priest, 25 points, and then all of a sudden, then he gets that. I'm just wondering, just thinking out loud, so the model has to take a leadership test, he's leadership 7. If there is another character in the unit that's of a higher leadership, do you use their leadership? It could be, just to create a higher possibility of passing that leadership test. Leadership 7 is pretty poor. I'm wondering, would you be allowed to use an independent character that's joining it, say a Canoness, leadership 10? Does it confer on, in the case of one of these tests? If you know the answer to that, then maybe leave that in the comments section. But reroll failed armor and invuln saves. In each unit, reroll all failed armor and invuln. You don't choose, it's both. Fantastic. Really is good. Then the Emperor's Strength, till the end of the phase, the priest has Smash. Really have significant. And then the Ministorian Priest in his unit reroll failed to wound rolls. Again, that could well be handy as well. That was being used against me when I was taking on the Imperial Guard with my orcs, and it was pretty effective. So this is a gem, this one. These guys are really helpful. So it's an HQ. 1 Ministorian Priest. And look, 1 delegation. As far as the rules are concerned, you can take as few or as many detachments as you want. So if you wanted to go for, I think, if you say you had an army of Space Marines and you wanted to add in a few Ministorium delegations and then just dot a few Ministorium priests in amongst your Space Marines, I don't know, can you? Or in amongst your Imperial Guard, I suppose you can do that. For 25 points, you're getting access to fantastic upgrades here. And even if you fails this, the unit's still going to get Zealot. Anyway, at a minimum. You can do upgrades. Bolt pistols a point, bolt guns a point. Plasma guns 15 points, no why you'd bother with that. Melter bombs 5 points, you might want to do that. And then You've got access to melee weapons, ranged weapons, and ecclesiarchy relics as well. But that is a Storm Priest is a good one. I think Imperial Guard get that equivalent as well. I think they're excellent. Definitely think Imperial Guard can do so much better. Just if you get a good army here. Right, so there's a special character, Uriah Jacobus, the Protector of the Faith. It's 100 points. Interesting model. I had not seen the model until I saw this codex. Weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength, toughness and wounds 3, initiative 4, 3 attacks, leadership 9, 5 plus save. He's got bolt pistol, chainsaw, frag grenades, crack grenades and a Rosarius. He has indomitable belief for warlord traits 78. I suppose we should cover warlord traits aren't up yet. Okay. Cover that a bit later. Independent character, Martyrdom, which was saying Shield of Faith, War Hymns, and then Zealot. He's leadership 9, it's better for War Hymns. And Zealot as well as a souped up sort of Imperial Chaplain really. So Protector of the Faith. Once per game Uriah Jacobus can, or his unit can attempt to use a bonus act of faith even if his unit has already used all of its acts of faith. Leadership test for this bonus act of faith is automatically passed and the unit's act of faith resolves as per its army list entry. Only the unit's act of faith can be used in this way, not that any independent characters that have joined, not that of any independent characters that have joined the unit. Uriah can use his bonus acts of faith even if his unit contained a model with a simulacrum imperialis that has been removed as a casualty. Using Uriah's bonus acts of faith does not prevent his unit from attempting to use any remaining acts of faith it has in subsequent phases. So that's the rules for that. And then weapons, his big shotgun is the Redeemer, range 24, strength 4, AP 4 and assault 2, it's not bad. And then Banner of Sanctity, friendly models within 12 of Uriah have fearless and counterattack. So plenty of bonuses for him. I would still see the value in just a couple of them. Yep, just absolute bargain I think for 25 points. Definitely. And you could do a real Imperial Guard army, one that's very sort of close, knitted in with the hierarchy of the Imperium, so lots of influence from smaller little units and detachments, real sort of themed type army. I still wish Games Workshop would release the plastic Imperial Guard regiments. You could do a nice Mordian Iron Guard army and then stick in some of these unique characters and detachments, just have such a cool theme. So still think Games Workshop should do that. If they've got any wisdom, just do the boxed regiments. They could do, we were just discussing this with some other players the other day, you could do, wouldn't take much to do it, so say Mordian Iron Guard, they could do an infantry box set, a heavy weapons box set in plastic, and then maybe an HQ set, you know, company platoon command set there, and then maybe a tank upgrade sprue, you know, with some badges and icons and things like that to stick on to standard Imperial vehicles to make them match in with that particular regiment, whatever they're doing. I think that would work great. Maybe a unique unit for that regiment, perhaps like Talaran Desert Raiders, perhaps you could give them a unit of cavalry just to make them unique, and you could easily do a codex for each of those regiments, no problem at all, with their own, you know, be a thinner codex, like sort of the size of the Harlequin one, not too big. All the units, and then background story and fluff, and then perhaps unique detachments with particular upgrades, you know, unique upgrades and so on, access to certain relics. I think there's a ton of Imperial Guard players out there waiting for that kind of thing to happen. You know, Imperial Guard players that would be willing, more than happy to have a break from Cadians and then get into a different regiment and just collect another big army. I mean, I would instantly get into one of those regiments if Games Workshop did that. No problem at all. So you've got Mordian Iron Guard, Ice Warriors of Valhalla, superb theme and brilliant models. That's the old models. I mean, if Games Workshop did an Ice World themed Imperial Guard, would look fantastic. Talaran Desert Raiders, I think, would be my favourite. Mordian Iron Guard would look superb. Maybe they could redo the Catchans, I don't know. So or update them at least and give them a codex as well. But so much potential there for the different regiments. I think they would sell very well indeed, but that's my opinion. You can leave that in the comment section as well, but I think that'd be a good move if Games Workshop did that. Then I think I could do it because it's not branching out into a whole new faction where you've got to do all new vehicles and flight and all that stuff. It's just sort of an upgrade set to bolt on to Imperial Guard vehicles and so on that are already out there, so it wouldn't be too much of an enterprise to it. Maybe they could do one regiment just to see how well it went, and then maybe do the others if it was a success. Battle Sisters then is next. 60 points gets you 5 of them, 4 Battle Sisters and then 1 Sister Superior. So they're just like a sort of a power armor these come with, and their ballistic skill is 4, so they're pretty good. And I'd imagine they'll look superb if Games Workshop redo these in plastic. Battle Sisters, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 3, 1 attack, leaves you 8, 3 plus save. They are, you know, they might still be quite expensive. Just thinking here. Bolt pistol, bolt gun, frag and crack grenades, act of faith, shield of faith. So there's that little invuln save. The act of faith is light of the Emperor. This act of faith can be used either in your shooting phase or assault phase. If successful, all models in the Battle Sisters unit gain preferred enemy at the end of the turn. Yeah, I'm just thinking they're expensive because 12 points here. You think a standard Space Marine is 2 points more expensive, so 14 points. But for that, for the Space Marine, you're going to get an extra +1 weapon skill, strength, +1 strength there, and toughness, and initiative. So they're still expensive enough. Sisters of Battle, 12 points, but still pretty good stat line though. 3+ armor saves, great. So one battle system may take a Simulacrum Imperialis, which is here. A unit of this upgrade can attempt to use its act of faith twice during the battle instead of once, regardless of whether or not the first attempt resulted in a pass or failure. A unit can only still attempt to use 1 act of faith in the same phase. Also note that the unit's act of faith can be attempted twice, not that of any independent characters that have joined the unit. Okay. If a model with a similar current Imperialis is removed as a casualty, it cannot attempt to use its act of faith for the rest of the battle. Okay. And theirs is the light of the Emperor here, this preferred enemy. If you think that's worth it. 10 points, maybe. They've got access to special weapons. We'll just see, a lot of it's going to be standard, I think. Yeah, Stormbolter, Flamer, and Melter Gun, just all your usual points for those. That is just one. Yeah, one other Battle Sister, so one of them can take one of those upgrades. One other Battle Sister can take weapons from special weapons, heavy weapons. The heavy weapons options is Heavy Bolter, Heavy Flamer and Multi-Melter. They're all 10 points each. So you can arm them pretty good. You can upgrade the Sister Superior to a Veteran Sister Superior, which will give her an extra attack and leadership for 10 points. Probably worth that. They can take a Melter Bombs for 5 points. And then the Sister Superior Veteran Superior can take items from melee and ranged weapons. So ranged weapons are Shotgun, Stormbolter, Combi, Flame and Melter Plasma, Condemn or Bolt Gun, which we've seen, and then Plasma, and melee, which can take an Eviscerator and power weapon. Thing is that I probably wouldn't bother because of the low attacks. Look, 2 attacks is standard. It's just not really. You know, if you're going to pay out for an expensive combat weapon like a power sword or an Eviscerator, it's worth putting it on something that has 3 attacks. I think it's just more value for points. The unit may select a Rhino or an Immolator as a dedicated transport. We'll come to those a bit later, I think. they'll be inside this book. Okay, so that's Sisters of Battle Squad. Nice theme to them. Definitely a strong theme for those. Repenter Squad. Now I think, yeah, this is one of the bargains here. There's some hidden gems in this book as far as bargains are concerned, points wise. So it's 85 points for 5 of them, and yeah, the stat line's that's not bad here, because you've got weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, this is good, strength and toughness 3, initiative 1 wound, initiative 3, 2 attacks, so they do have 2 attacks, and then leadership 8. I think these would look really good as a re-sculpt here. If they did these in plastic, I think they'd look really good. Yeah, they look pretty good, because the standard weapon here is an eviscerator, which you remember back here it's 30 points to take one. These are 14 points and they come with it as standard, so crazy imbalance there. So I think a real bargain. You need a larger unit because you've got virtually no save, 6+ invuln, that's about it. So you're going to need a large unit to absorb the fact your opponent may well is going to go first and cause a fair amount of casualties. Then there's a Mistress of Repentance. She's got neural whips here. 79. They are AP 3 and melee, neural shock, specialist weapon. Yeah, so neural shock here against the non-vehicle units with a leadership of 8 or less, which is 2/3 units going to come up against a neural whip is shred. If there are different leadership values in the target unit, use the majority value. Pretty cool. That just comes as standard for her. 2 neural whips. You're on 2 attacks, 3 attacks. Whoa! And then look at this. Fearless. Not going anywhere. God. Fleet and rage as well. So going to get a fair amount of attacks here. And then active faith. Spirit of the Martyr. 1 use only. This active faith can be used in either of the player's assault phase. If successful, all models in the Sisters of Repentia unit gain Feel No Pain 3+ to the end of the turn. Crazy rules for these. You can take up to 5 more, 14 points a model. You can give the Mistress Melter Bombs for 5 points, and you can put them in a Rhino Immolator that's dedicated transform. So they're vulnerable. Yeah, they're going to be on foot. They don't really have an assault vehicle to use, and a lower initiative. But nastily armed unit that. Really could cause a fair amount of trouble. They're loaded with attacks and bonuses here. So this is one of the gems here. I think a nasty squad there. A lot of potential for them, but difficult to get them right in a game. You know, I think they could easily be wiped out and picked on for those, I reckon. So difficult one, but they potentially could cause so much trouble. So that's them. That's the Repentia squad. Right. So next up is a Sororitas Command Squad. 65 points for these. You get 5 Celestians. So a regular Celestian here is weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 3, 2 attacks, leadership 9, 3 up save. I think that's these two. Hospitaller is weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 4, leadership 9, 3 up save as well. And then a Dialogos. Ballistic skill 4, same stat line there as well. There'll be different rules for each of these, I think. Bolt gun, bolt pistol, sort of the commands. Well, it's just the command squad. Frag and crack grenades, bolt guns. Act of Faith, which is here. Shield of Faith, so the usual for Sisters of Battle, and then stubborns. They're pretty good for morale in combat. Endless Crusade, 1 use only. This Act of Faith can be used in your assault phase. If successful, all models in the unit gain the Fleet, Crusader, and move through cover special rules until the end of the turn. A bit annoying, these rules here. These Acts of Faith, you've got to try and remember them. And they're different for each unit as well, so you can easily forget those just in the heat of a game going on. But just little bonuses you can get. Then upgrades here, 1 Celestian may be upgraded to Hospitaller. replacing her bolt gun with a Chirurgian's Tool. I imagine that's going to grant Feel No Pain. Let's just check here. Page 79. Just imagine it's going to be sort of similar to the usual command squad for Imperial armies. Yeah, Feel No Pain. And then upgraded to a Dialogus, however you say it, replacing a bolt gun with a Lord Hailer. 5 points. See left. Lord Hailer, see left. Oh, here it is, vehicle equipment. All friendly units within 12 of the model with a Lord Hailer reroll failed leadership tests when attempting an act of faith. Right, sort of. You're sort of helpful, but you know, it's a one use only. 5 points just to get a reroll for a one use only. Maybe a bit of a waste. Depends how much you value the act of faith there. They got relics. They can access the relics, ecclesiarchy relics, and then they can take any other Celestian. May take melee weapons, ranged weapons, special weapons, heavy weapons. Then one Celestian may take a Blessed Standard, page 15. Sorry, 15 points, page 79. See it. Everyone within 12. Rerolls, Failed Morale, Fear and Pinning. Yeah, not bad. Pretty good. And then the Sacred Banner of the Order Militant, which is just over here. Yeah, that's what it might be, one of these ecclesiarchy relics. All units within 12 get the same bonuses, but they, as with the other banner, reroll, Failed Morale, Fear and Pinning test, but they also get +1 attack. Not sure how you. This is a battle. Suppose you use them like regular Space Marines, so you wanted some close combat ability there. Just Space Marines sort of general rounders, really, sort of meant to be good at pretty much everything, and then have that durability of the toughness and armor save. So yeah, maybe that's good. There for the +1 attacks. Maybe probably wouldn't bother with that one. Depends how you structure your force. We're going to have a lot of infantry on foot and sort of clustering them together, then it becomes more and more of a value taking that Sacred Banner. One other Celestian may take a Simulacrum Imperialis, and then the unit may take Melter Bombs. 5 points a model. Really only one needs to have it now with a new FAQ for that. And then they can take a Rhino Immolator as dedicated transport. Okay, so that's the command squad. Some benefits there. Still think like this is different, interesting. Yeah, now I'm going to come on to a couple of others here that I think there's a couple of hidden gems here for sure, especially these guys. So Acroflagellants, they're 30 points for 3 of them. They're weapon skill 5, which is very high. Strength 5, which is again really high just for regular infantry. Then initiative 3 attacks, which is really good base number of attacks as well. They're very cheap, only 10 points each, no armor save, but they do come with Feel No Pain, so it's as good as, virtually as good as a 5+ save. And then 2 Arco Flails. Remember, on the 3 attacks already in weapon skill 5 and it's strength 5. Let's check out these combat weapons. Strength for the user, melee and specialist weapon. So they're just going to get strength 5 attacks. It's specialist weapon, but it's 2 of the same, so I think they would still get the extra attacks. So looking at 4 attacks each, 5 on the charge. So just loads of strength 5 attacks. May well come in handy. Yeah, again, models in desperate need of a resculpt, but again could look really good if Games Workshop redid them, which they may well do. They may well do. Then you can include, you've got 3 of them, you include up to 7 more, so unit of 10 you can go up to, which would be 100 points. Unless there's no other upgrades, they can take a Rhino Immolator as transports, but maybe a handy little unit there. A lot of attacks potentially with them. A lot of attacks. Then you've got Crusaders here, 30 points. I think these are a bargain. Weapon skill 4. More than a bargain. They're I think they're utterly amazing, but for what you get, just the usual stat line, 5 up save for 2 Crusaders, 15 points each. But this is what they come with. Power Sword. Power Sword is usually 15 points to give to a model, but these guys come with it as standard. They're only 15 points each, and then they come with Storm Shield. Now, I don't think it's in here. It's probably gonna. Yeah, no, Storm Shield. Storm Shield confers a 3+ invulnerable save. So, I mean, usually to give Storm Shields to a model costs loads, but for these guys, they come with a Power Sword and Storm Shield as standard. They're only 15 points. I think it's one of the most ridiculous points costs for what you get. I think I've pretty much ever seen. For 15 points, you're getting, power weapon, Power Sword, and then Storm Shield, 3+ invuln save, and that's shooting and in close combat. I mean, this unit's brilliant. Put a priest with them, perhaps take a unit of 10, because you can have this. You come with 2, and you can take an extra 8. At 15 points a time, it's 150 points, 10 of them. Who got 3+ invuln save, and then carrying Power Swords. I know their attacks aren't too high, but still, can easily take on, power armored units and so on. So stick a priest with them, some other characters like that can give them some nice bonuses. All of a sudden, got a very, very decent unit. Now, great for a bodyguard as well. It's 3+, even if they don't really fight too much. The 3+ invuln is going to protect a lot of shots coming through as well. But again, I think they look amazing. The models look nice here, but if they were sculpted in plastic, I think they come out really good. Or maybe you could use some old Warhammer or Age of Sigmar models perhaps and do some kind of conversion work. I think maybe they'd look pretty good as well. You could probably get away with that because they do look very medieval. There's not much sort of futuristic on them at all there. The Storm Shield just looks like a regular shield there. So yeah, deadly. Not the best unit out there, but a bargain, I think, for 15 points a time. So that's them. Then you got Death Cult Assassins, 30 points. Again, they're 15 points a time. Unit of 2. Death Cult Assassin, weapon skill 5, strength 4 for these. I was going to say guys, I think they're women. Initiative 6, which is very, very high. 2 attacks as base, and then they come with 2 Power Swords. So you're on 2 attacks, 3 attacks, 4 on the charge. They do come with a 5 up invuln save. So again, pretty good. Still, out of all 3 of these, I think they're all good. Still think they're the best, but not too bad here. You can take up to 8 of them, so you can go up to unit of 10, and they can take immolators and rhinos. Any problems delivery of the combat units? They haven't really got assault vehicles to come out of if you stick to within Sisters of Battle. But maybe if you ally with other, put them in a Land Raider or something like that. With allies, then you could use them that way. Just so they're in some kind of assault vehicle. That's them. Celestian Squad is next, 70 points for 5 of them. So these are sort of more of the elites over your regular battle sisters. These are Web Skill, Ballistic Skill 4. 2 attacks as standard, leadership 9 as standard for these. Bolt pistol, bolt gun, frag and crack grenades, axe of faith, shield of faith. And then the act of faith here is Hand of the Emperor. 1 use only. This act of faith is used in a friendly assault phase. If successful, all models gain furious charge. Not bad. Not bad. You can take, they're 14 points a time. 1 Celestian may take a Simulacrum Imperialis. 1 other Celestian may take special weapons. 1 other can take special weapons or heavy. The superior can take melter bombs. The superior can take melee weapons, pretty much the same as regular Sisters of Battle here. The Celestian superior can take melee weapons, ranged weapons, and then the usual transports for those as well. So Celestian Squad. Right, next is Dominion Squad. So these names all sound quite familiar here from playing James Otero Sisters of Battle. 65 points for these. Any weapon skill 3 here, but they are BS4. 3 up save as standard. So these ones are bolt pistol, bolt gun, frag and crack grenades, act of faith, which is here, scout for these, and shield of faith. So act of faith here is holy fusillade. On use only, this act of faith can be used in the shooting phase. If successful, all weapons in the dominions have ignores cover. Special, that's really good. Shame it's one use only, but for one time round they get ignores cover. They include up to 5 additional dominions if you wish, 13 points a time. And then usual upgrades, I think. No, it's a bit more open here for some decent weaponry. One dominion may take a Simulacrum Imperialis, and then 4 other dominions may take items from the special weapons list, which is Stormbolter, Flamers and Melter Guns. So that's a little unit you could equip with some good weaponry. Then you can upgrade the Dominion Superior to a Veteran Dominion Superior for 10 points. This then can take Melter Bombs, and then the Superior can take melee weapons, ranged weapons, and the usual transports for them. But handy little unit that. They are at BS4, and you can make them, give them 4 melters, 4 flamers, put them inside a small transport. I think that's what James of Terror does with some of his units, and it works pretty good. So nice. Yeah, look forward to seeing these resculpted. They're quite hard to tell the difference. Just looking. It says regular Sisters of Battle there. Then, yeah, not much difference between them and them and them. Just there. So similar looking here. Seraphim Squad, 75 points of 5. Jump Infantry, usual stat line, weapon skill, ballistic skill 4, leadership 8, 3 up save. So interesting, kind of hit and run. Shield of Faith, 2 bolt pistols. Cool. That is cool. 2 bolt pistols is cool. Okay, and then the Angelic Visage models with the special can reroll failed invuln saves granted by the Shield of Faith, so rerolling your 6s, which isn't too amazing, but that's all. That's not an act of faith, that's all the time. The Emperor's Deliverance, one use only. This act of faith can be used in the shooting phase. If successful, all weapons gain shred to the end of the turn. Only one attack is standard, and 2 bolt pistols isn't particularly deadly. So you take 5 more of them to make up to unit of 10. 2 Seraphim may replace their bolt pistols with hand flamers at 10 points a time, or 2 hand flamers. Cool. Or 2 Inferno pistols, 30 points to do that. Okay, yeah, maybe you take 2 of them, give them 2 Inferno pistols, all of a sudden you've got a nasty melter unit there. You may upgrade 1 Seraphim to a Seraphim Superior. The Seraphim Superior may replace one of the bolt pistols with a chainsaw power sword. Chainswords are 3, power swords 15 points. And then the Seraphim Superior may replace a bolt pistol with a plasma pistol. And then the Superior can take melter bombs. I do like the idea of a double Inferno pistol for 2 of them. Yeah, it would look cool, it would be pretty. Now, problem here, now correct me if I'm wrong, just thinking, you've got 2 pistols, you can only, it's an infantry unit, you can only fire 1 in a turn. So I think that's right. I think you can only fire, you've got armoured 2 pistols, I think you can only fire 1 of them. So even if you gave them the 2 Inferno pistols, you're only going to get to shoot 1 of them, I think. I could be wrong on that. But leave that in the comments section. That's pretty important and pretty a waste then of points if you're playing out. Yeah, it's 30 points to take your 2 Inferno pistols, and then in the rules you can only fire 1 of them anyway. I'm not sure on that, but I think you can only fire 1 of the pistols. So you're on to regular transports here, 40 points for Rhino. Comes with smoke launcher searchlight. Does have usual stuff, just comes with, it's all the same here except it comes with shield of faith for 6+ invuln. Then you've got immolators, which I can imagine GW could redo and make them look really cool. So 60 points for this one. Twin linked heavy flamer. Searchlight smoke launchers. It's like a well, it's just a Sisters of Battle Razorback, really. All the same stat line. 6 models can be carried, 5 points access points, all the same. Shield of Faith, the invuln's there. Then you can replace twin linked heavy flamer with either a twin linked heavy bolter and then twin linked multi melter. Nice. That's pretty good if you're on the attack, driving through and wanting to crack open some vehicles. Twin link multi melter, get within range 12. Nasty weapon. And it's free to replace any of those configurations, so not bad. Then you can take vehicle equipment upgrades for that one. That's the immolator. Retributor squad next. 60 points. I think it's the Devastator equivalent here. Usual stat line BS4 for these. And their active faith is Divine Guidance. One use only. This active faith can be used in the shooting phase. If successful, all weapons in the Retributors gain rending. Special until the end of that turn. Cool, so maybe take a load of heavy bolters, but again it's one use only, which is a bit annoying. Usual upgrades are 12 points a time. You have to go to your heavy weapon. 4 of them can take heavy weapons, so it's going to be heavy flamers, heavy bolters, multi-melters for them. So melter seems to be a sort of a feature of Sisters of Battle. Melters, flamers, and then the bolters, bolt guns, heavy bolters. Usual upgrades here then. You can upgrade to Veteran Retributor Superior. She can take melter bombs, and then it's got access to melee and ranged weapons and the usual transports as well. I mean, you could load up. God, you could load up an immolator with stick a twin link multi-melter or a twin linked heavy flame, whatever. Move up and stick a unit of these inside. Give them 4 of them heavy flamers, and then suddenly you've got a nasty ambush unit there, which will be able to disembark, and then 4 heavy flamer templates cause a lot of trouble and not too expensive. Just quickly see, it should be 10 points each. Heavy flamer, yeah, 10 points. So 10 points there, so you're looking at 100 points for those 5, all with heavy flamers, and then 60 points for the immolator. Could be a nasty combination there. Exorcist, 125 points. So Exorcist missile launchers, which I've come up against them plenty of times. Yeah, Strength 8, AP1, Heavy D6, brilliant weapon. 360 degree arc of fire. It is a superb weapon. 125 points. Still, you know, medium price. Front armor's 13 though. Excellent armor at the front. So a decent. I would take them if I was taking Sisters of Battle. Searchlight smoke launchers, and then you've got vehicle equipment upgrades available for them. Next one's Penitent Engines. Never seen these in a game. 80 points. Gets your weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 2, strength 5, front and side 11, rear 10, initiative 3, free attacks as standard, 3 hull points. So Walker, it's open topped. Not so good, it's a little bit vulnerable. 2 Dreadnought close combat weapons are built in heavy flamers. There's 2 heavy flamers on there, which is great because your ballistic skill's low, but heavy flamers doesn't matter. So, and the Dreadnought close combat weapons, I think it'll be at double strength, so yeah, then at strength 5 doubled to strength 10 with 3 attacks, an extra attack for the weapons, 4 attacks, 5 on the charge. Pretty nasty. Pricey enough at 80 points. Get Rage. Shield of Faith, there's an invuln there. Unstoppable. Penitent Engines ignore the effects of crew shaken, crew stunned. Cool. But still lose a hull point. And you can take up to 2 additionals. You can have a squadron of 3 of them in total. Again, one that Games Workshop could easily redo. And if they redo it, I'd imagine they would improve it a little bit, just to give people an incentive to buy the new models. So that's that one. They're a bit vulnerable there. Armour 11, not much to protect them, just a 6+ invuln. Imagine them getting shot up pretty bad because they're a combat-based model. So next one's formation set. I think this one's interesting. Ecclesiastic Battle Conclave. So you'll take the Ministorum, which it's been made up here of units that I rate here. So Ministorian Priest or Uriah Jacobus, so that's that 25-point priest. And then 3 to 10 units in the following combination: Acroflagellants, Crusaders, Death Cult Assassins. Now this is an interesting bit. All models in this formation form a single unit, so you just lump them all together. And that's the formation, so you just chuck that into your army and just have them all lumped as one. Yes, there's Crusaders there and bodyguard duty, and then loads of attacks and so on here. Yeah, I can imagine you come up with some pretty good combinations with that. Shield of Faith they get as well, so 6+. But interesting formation, that one. So there it is. So we've covered all this, just need to do the warlord traits here. So just run through these. So Execution of Heretics, I think that's all the Sisters of Battle in there. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with Sisters of Battle, whether they're going to get their own codex or not. I'm not sure. I still think they probably will, although I think Games Workshop have put every unit in there. So not totally sure on that one. Executioner of Heretics, and the Warlord has Fear. Nothing major there. Next one's Indomitable Belief. The Warlord and all models in the Warlord's unit have Shield of Faith. That have Shield of Faith have 5+, so a slight improvement, that's not bad. Pure of Will. You re-roll unsuccessful to know the Witch rolls, not too bad. The Warlord has Rage. It's okay, but Rage, it's not really... None of the models really are amazing in combat anyway at the HQ, so they must be doing a separate codex. So Celestine's the Living Saint isn't in here, so there must be something else to come for Sisters of Battle. I doubt they're going to bring out a load of new box sets and then not do a codex for them. Then Beacon of Faith, all friendly models within 12 use their leadership value for acts of faith and war hymns. That's pretty cool. Inspiring Orator, all friendly models within 12 of the Warlord have Stubborn. So not bad, not bad. It's not a bad table there. Still would half the time would probably go with the one of the tables that you get in the regular 40k book. Covered all of these. So there's these Ecclesiarchy relics. The points values aren't here, they'll be up just at the top here, just there. Don't seem too expensive. So Litanies of Faith. The bearer and the bearer's unit and any independent character that has joined the bearer's unit automatically passes a leadership test required when attempting to use either an act of faith for a war hymn. Not bad. 15 points for that. Yeah, it may well be worth doing that. For a decent unit on automatic passes. Has a nice bit of reliability, 15 points. You know, if some of your strategy hangs on those being reliable, then that may well be worth taking. Cloak of St. Aspira. The wearer of the cloak rerolls all failed armour saving throws and Shield of Faith invuln saves. Not bad. That will cost you 20 points. Interesting one. The Mace of Valan. +2 strength AP4. Chaos Bane, concussive and mastercrafted. Chaos Bane gains Flesh Bane, Numb Bane special rolls when the wielder is within 6 inches of one or more models of Demon special roll. Cool. It's a pretty good weapon. It's 25 points. Okay. Oh, Ministorian Priest only. Interesting. Then Mantle of Ophelia. They gain Eternal Warrior. 25 points to have that upgrade. Probably wouldn't bother with that. You know, if you've got an amazing stat line close combat model, then maybe yes, but for the sisters they don't really have that, so probably wouldn't take that. Blade of Admonition. +2 strength AP3. mastercrafted melee. That's a nasty one. It's 30 points though. Give it to the Canoness. It is a good weapon. I mean, +2 strength, AP3 is really good, but whether it's worth doing, it is 30 points. It is expensive. Book of St. Lucius. All friendly units within 12 automatically pass any fear or regroup tests. 5 points. Cheap enough. And then Sacred Banner of the Order Militant, we've seen that earlier. It's everyone within 12 rerolls morale, fear, and pinning, and then +1 attack also. And with the points cost for that's back there, so there is actually 7 here. Okay, that's that. Tactical objectives just there. Okay, so Death Watch. I'm not going to cover these because I've just recently done the review for Death Watch. You can check out that whole review for those models, units, and weapons, and so on. So that's all their war gear. Some special weapons there, cover that in all the Codex review for Death Watch, so you can check that out. Just interesting here about the Death Watch kill team. You can take 1 troop. That's it. That is your detachment. So you just add in a kill team charm and nothing else. Cool, it is cool. So 1 troop, there they are, just like a unit of veterans. Small unit of 5. Just, you know, maybe like myself, I don't really fancy doing an army of these. But you may want to add in a little elite, you know, kill team in charm, maybe Imperial Fish. You could take out unit of these, add them in for a bit of fun, do something different. Now you can do it, just take a Death Watch kill team on troops. Aquila Doctrine, non-vehicle models in this attachment can reroll any to wound rolls and armor penetration rolls of 1. Not bad, little incentive there to take that detachment, and that's all the information for them. So, pretty good. It's handy resource, this book. As I said earlier, if you fancy spicing things up a bit in an army, you've got a Space Marine army or some Imperial army, whatever type it is, you can just say, alright, I fancy taking a few Death Watch. I love the miniatures. Take unit 5. And you can bring them into the army, no problem. The Black Stars included in here. So take it, you can go for, yeah, the Black Star as a dedicated transport for them. Nice. Cool. It also means that, just another thought here is that if you wanted to use some Death Watch, you don't have to go out and buy the Death Watch Codex. It's all in here. All your information's here for you to assemble the list. Your bonuses are in there. So I think unless you may need the Codex, unless they give you the rules. Oh no, they do. They give you everything here. So all the armory for them's here as well, so don't need the Codex, I don't think. You can just refer back to this, so helpful, handy. So that's all the upgrades. Corvus Black Star is a nice flyer, so you can take that as part of that tiny detachment there. Yeah, cool. And if I was to go Death Watch, I'd maybe do it as a tiny little detachment that I can just add in to an army. James may do the same for his Imperial Guard as well, just have a unit of these. A unit inside one of these, help out. Yeah, definitely. It's an assault vehicle as well, cool. I think Death Watch matches Ultramarines and Imperial Guard really well. So that's the rules for them there. Not going to cover that in the Codex. Covered all this, so we'll leave that. Grey Knights, again, I've covered that in the Grey Knights Codex review. I can't see this replacing the Grey Knights Codex because it hasn't got all the units. So it can't be a replacement. Paladins aren't even in here. So I can't see that being a replacement. Just the area of interest here. Again, when I did the Codex review for Grey Knights, I thought about them just taking them as an allied force or a small detachment to add into another army that I already have. Perhaps I think these would go really well with the Imperial Guard that James and I have. So again, small little detachment, a Demon Hunter strike force. You know, you can imagine playing a game of Imperial Guard facing off against Chaos or Chaos Demons, and then James can elect just to say, right, I'm going to add in a Demon Hunter strike force to help guard out. Excellent. 1 troop, 1 fast attack, the compulsory, and then 1 heavy support. I don't know if that's the symbol for heavy support, but it's elites. But anyway, here's all the war gear covered. Rights of teleportation. Instead of making reserve rolls from the start of your turn, you can make reserve rolls for any unit's detachment that is placed in Deep Strike Reserve from the start of turn 1. These units will arrive from Deep Strike on a 3+. In addition, all units from this detachment can run and shoot in any order in the same turn they arrive from Deep Strike. Wow. Pretty good bonuses here for taking this detachment. Demon Hunter Strike Force. So units that are available. Troops is Terminator Squad. Kind of weird. You have to take an Interceptor Squad. Fast attack. Which I don't mind the models anyway, so wouldn't mind that. And then heavy support. You can add in your Nemesis. And then I suppose these are your dedicated transports to take for the Grey Knights, Terminators. Yep, okay. So that's that. The 3 different types of Land Raiders in there. Then you got your Grey Knights, Appendix, Weaponry. Really good. Okay. Right, Legion of the Damned. Don't think I've covered these before. So, and again, another little detachment I wouldn't mind adding in, just to change things around. Nice models. Can't complain about the models. Really nice job on them. So, a Spectral Host. 1 elites is the compulsory, and then 3 more elites if you wish. Saviours from Beyond. All units of this detachment must begin the game in Deep Strike Reserve. You can choose to automatically pass or fail in reserve rolls for this detachment. There's no need to roll out, so you can come on, not come on, as you please. Again, a decent upgrade there, or a decent benefit for no cost. There's their costs. So Legion of the Damned, 125 points, gets you 5 of them, so 25 points each. Standard Legionnaire is weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, usual Space Marine, except it comes with 2 attacks, leadership 10, and then it's virtually almost 14, almost good 10 points more expensive than a regular Marine. The Legionnaire Sergeant, same, weapon skill 5 actually for him. So bolt gun, bolt pistol, frame crack grenades, come with Deep Strike, Fear, Fearless, Slow and Purposeful. 8 unlocked 4. Damn Legionnaires cannot be joined by independent characters. They always start the game Deep Strike Reserve. When they arrive by Deep Strike, you can choose to reroll both the 2d6 and the scatter dice. Right, so even more reliable for just deep striking and turning up. Flaming projectiles, ranged attacks have ignores cover. Pretty good. And then they have a 3+ invuln save. Whoa. God. Still think they get picked off. You know, forcing them to make loads of 3+ saves just would get rid of them. But it's the ambush potential of them, I think, is their strength. 1 Legionnaire may take item from the Legion of the Damned special weapons, which is flame and melting on a plasma gun. Usual points cost for them. A different Legionnaire replaces bolt gun with one of the following heavy weapons. Heavy flamer. See, heavy flamer, they already have ignores cover with a shooting anyway, so maybe go for the multi-melter with ignores cover. Might be helpful. And the Legionnaire Sergeant may replace his bolt gun with a chainsaw, power weapon, power fist. Legionnaire Sergeant may take items from Legion of the Damned ranged weapons, which is bolt gun, storm bolter, plasma pistol. Not sure what to do. I think they're a vulnerable unit, and their ambush potential, where they can be armed, is not that amazing. Yeah, difficult really. Conundrum these ones, but nice models, and would be a refreshing addition to an Imperial army for sure. I mean, they look pretty good with Imperial fists actually. Okay. It'd be fun to use them as well, just the whole theme behind them. I think it's very strong, very iconic unit indeed. That's that done. So, Officio Assassinorium. It's these assassins which have been redone in plastic. You get in that assassin boxed game that Games Workshop have done. The lovely models, really well done. The resculpts on those. So now's the rules are all in here for them now. So again, Assassinorium Operative. It's just a single model you can take. Just stick him in your army. Brilliant. Operation Assassinate. If the mission you're playing uses victory points, you receive a bonus victory point at the end of the game if the enemy warlord was removed as a casualty as a result of a wound inflicted by a model with this special rules. It's out for it's a bonus to go on the hunt for the leader here. Always wondered as to which of these 4 would be the best. We'll get to have a look now. I've come up against this guy a number of times, the Vindicare Assassin, 150 points. Weapon skill 8, ballistic skill 8, strength for toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 7, 4 attacks, leadership 10. Crazy stat line. So an Existus pistol. Is range 12. Strength comes in a minute. AP2, it's a pistol, sniper, and then Existus ammo. Each time Vindicare Assassin fires a weapon with special rule, choose one of the following 3 types of ammunition to use. Shield breaker, invuln saves cannot be taken. Wow. Against wounds, glancing hits, penetrating hits from a shield breaker. For sniper, there's just a 4+ to wound. Yeah. So 4+ to wound, ignoring invuns. Or a turbo penetrator. Against vehicles, shots from a turbo penetrator count strength 10. Against all other targets, shots from turbo penetrator inflict D3 wounds rather than 1. Cool. And then shots from a hellfire round always wound on a 2+. Yeah, okay. So nice flexibility with him. Deadly shooting ability. He is to be feared. It was annoying to come up against. Play it when I was playing against Ben's Grey Knights. There's more here. Existus rifle. Just check the range on that. Range 72. Incredible range. Blind grenades, and then a spy mask. All successful hit rolls with Vindicare Assassin, including snapshots, have ignores cover. Wow, and ignores cover. The best sniper out there, I think. Fearless, infiltrate, lightning reflexes. Oh, independent operative. Actually, we'll check first of all. Can't be joined by anybody. Never has a war trait. Okay. And then lightning reflexes, 4+ invuln save, and no penalty for charging for difficult terrain. Move through cover, no escape. Enemy characters suffer -2 penalty to the lookout sir tests. Whoa. Against wounds inflicted with model of the special roll, nasty. And then stealth as well, so it's a bonus for his cover save. Deadshot. All successful hit rolls with Vindicare Assassin, excluding snapshots or precision shots. All hits are precision shots. And then -2 to your lookout sirs. Nasty. Wounds from precision shots. See, I would use him. He's 150 points. You think, oh yeah, I'll go after the leader, I'll go after stand-up. And you could use him to pick off stuff like a las cannon and a tactical squad, just something like that. That kind of thing. Picking off key weapons buried inside units. Use him for that kind of stuff, because you're hitting models that don't get. There's no lookout sirs. There's no invuln save for them. Usually, they're not going to get any cover. So it's just going to be 2s to hit, 2s to kill. Take the model off. Just brilliant. You know, and pick out things that the opponents paid a lot of points for and buried in the unit, and then he just picks them off from very, very far away. So wounds from precision shots are allocated against a model or models of your choice in the target unit, as long as it is in range and line of sight of the firer, rather than following the normal rules for wound allocation. A character precision shot wound allocated to it can still make a lookout, so yeah. Note that snapshots and shots from weapons that scatter do not roll to hit. That do not roll to hit can never be precision shots. Okay, so yeah, so he is good. He's the ultimate sniper. Next, I wonder what the others are good at. So a Codex assassin, 145 points. Maybe my least favourite of the new sculpts, I think, but they're all good. Same stat line here, I think. Yep, 145, slightly cheaper. See what she's good at here. So Neural Shredder. Neural Shredder is a template weapon, strength 1, AP 2, pistol, Neural Shock. Hits this weapon always wound on a 4+. No effect on vehicles. It's 4+ to wound, AP 2, template. Potentially nasty. It's not one use only, so pretty good. A phase sword. Strength uses AP 2 and then phasing hits. Any 6s are any 2 wound rolls of 6 made by phase sword results in a phasing wound. Invuln saves cannot be taken against phasing wounds, so negates the invuln there. 4 attacks. She is at strength 4 actually, so not too bad. And then poison blades. Strength for the user, melee, poison, 3+, and rending. So melee, 2 melee weapons there. Yep, so another attack, so it'll be 6 attacks on the charge. Not bad. Yeah, interesting. Fearless, fleet, hit and run, independent operative, infiltrate, lightning reflexes, move, recover, no escape, precision strikes. Polymorphine, when a Codex assassin is deployed using her infiltrate special rule, she can set up anywhere on the table that is more than 1 inch away from enemy unit, whether deployed enemy units can draw a line of sight or not. Brilliant for that template weapon, just ambush straight away. If a Codex assassin starts the game reserves, she can choose to move on from the enemy board edge when she arrives. Whoa. In either case, during the first game turn, or during the game turn in which she arrives, enemy units can only fire snapshots. Whoa, so pretty good. The benefits for these assassins are pretty cool. Reign of Confusion. If your army includes a Codex assassin, you can reroll the dice when attempting to seize initiative. In addition, your opponent suffers -3 to the first reserve roll they make during the game. Whoa. Okay, next one. An Eversaw assassin, 135 points, even cheaper. Same stat line. An Executioner pistol. Range 12, strength 1, but poisoned, AP dash. Or a bolt pistol, range 12, strength 4, AP 5 pistol. Not that amazing for that. A Neuro Gauntlet. Strength for the user, Fleshbane Shred, but no AP. So 2s to wound with shredding. Pretty good, but we'll see if it improves here. Power Sword. So that's better. So now you're on. See, in melee, I'm wondering, do you choose which weapon you're going to use in close combat? Power Sword or the Neuro Gauntlet, or can you combine them together so the Power Sword becomes Shred? Not sure. Melter Bombs, Frenzon. Yeah, which is your 3d6 when you determine charge range. Add the results together. In addition, you receive 3 bonus attacks in a turn which he charged rather than just 1. Cool, so he's a close combat specialist here. And then Sentinel Array. He fires Overwatch at normal ballistic skill, which is ballistic skill 8. Fearless, feel no pain. Cool. Furious Charge, independent operative, infiltrate, lightning reflexes, move through cover, and no escape. Bio meltdown. If an Evosaur assassin is reduced to 0 wounds before removing the models of casualty, each nearby unit, friend or foe, suffers a strength 5 AP- hit for each model within D6 of the assassin. Fast shot. Whenever an Evosaur assassin fires his executioner pistol, he does so 4 times. All of these shots must be at the same target, but can be any mixture of bolt pistol and needle pistol shots. Yeah. Okay, not bad. I wouldn't say he's I think he's the least deadly so far. The last one, not sure how to pronounce it, a Codex assassin, 140 points. Does look so weird. Does look so weird. You know, it would be a bit intimidating to have him turn up and, you know, to be hunted by one of these things. Same stat line. So, an Animus Speculum. Got to see what this is. I think it's the weirdest looking, so it'll be fascinating to see what he's got here. Range 18, Strength 5 AP1, Assault X, Absorb, Warp, Charge. When firing an Animus Speculum, firing the weapon, first add up the combined mastery levels of all psychic units, friend or foe, within 12. Those psychic units that are embarked in buildings or transport do not count. Pick up that many dice. You can then add up to 3 more dice to this hand by removing. You can then add up to 3 more dice from this hand by removing them from your own warp charge pool. The total number of dice in your hand is the number of shots Animus Speculum now fires. Strength 5, AP1. Ugh, so you could really target a Psyker. You'd have to imagine him trying to take out some kind of hive mind model, some kind of Tyranid. One of the Psychers, the Tyranid, something like that. He's got an Ethereum. Whenever enemy unit targets such as assassin with shooting or close combat attacks, the shots are as always resolved as if the attacking unit had ballistic skill, weapon skill 1. Oh. That's crazy. Whenever an enemy unit targets the assassin with shooting or close combat attacks, they're always resolved at BS weapon skill 1. That's mad, really hard. No bonuses or modifiers can be applied to increase the attacking unit's weapon skill, ballistic skill. Wow, that's suddenly made him really tough. This guy's crazy. Fear, fearless, independent operative, infiltrate, lightning reflexes, move, recover, no escape, preferred enemy, Psyker. So he's a Psyker hunter. Cool. Life drain. Armor saves cannot be taken against wounds inflicted by a Codex assassin's close combat attacks. Any close combat attack inflicted by the assassin that rolls a 6 to wound is instant death. Any close combat attack inflicted by the assassin that is allocated to a Psyker has instant death. Any attack has instant death. Whoa, he's crazy. You'd be terrified if you had Psychers on the board and him after them. It'd be intimidating, which is what you want it to be for these assassins. They're meant to be intimidating. Psychic abominations. Psychers, friend or foe within 12 inches, have -3 leadership. Do not generate any warp charge. Do not add the dice to the warp charge pool. Whoa. And only harness warp charge points on a 6+, even if they would otherwise harness warp charge on another result. Selectus assassin can never be targeted or affected by psychic powers. Other units in the Selectus vicinity that are hit by a beam or nova powers or by witch firepower that use templates are hit affected normally. Any blessing or malediction psychic powers affecting a unit immediately cease to be in effect if the unit moves within 12 of a Selectus or vice versa. This rule does not apply. He real nullifies psychic powers as well. Ugh, he's so weird. That's the weirdest one, and rate him, depending on who you're fighting against, maybe rate him second for deadliness out of the 4. So then you've got a formation here. You can take an execution force, take all 4 of them. You have to take one of each. So you've got the box game, the board game of this, and you paint the models up. Now you can introduce them into your armies. Preferred enemy is Warlord, interesting, so any Warlord, whoever it is. Operation Assassinate. If the mission you're playing uses victory points, you receive 1 bonus victory point at the end of the game if the enemy's Warlord was removed as a casualty as a result of a wound inflicted by a model with this special rule. So they all get it, they're all after the Warlord. So weird. That is weird. Okay. So we've covered that. That's the weaponry, covered there. Assassins are cool. They are cool. Now we're on to Inquisition on page 120. There's a lot to this book. The Games Workshop giving you a lot of content here, pulling a load of stuff together, a bit like the campaign scenario book that we reviewed a while back, Planetary Onslaught. Just loads and loads of content for that one. The Games Workshop have given, and they've done it inside this book as well. Inquisition's next. Again, some weird models. A lot of them have never come up against before. So again, small detention. HQ you can take as compulsory. You can optional as free elites. You get authority of the Inquisition. You may pick one Inquisitor. This can be a unique Inquisitor from this detachment to generate and use a warlord trait, even if they are not your army's warlord. For the purposes of this warlord trait, this Inquisitor is considered to be your warlord. So there, that's their war gear list. Which you may well have to look up some of these. Yeah, I've never covered any of these before. These are the strange fringe models almost that are pretty rare that you see them. So Cortez here, 100 points. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 4. Strength and toughness 3, 3 wounds, initiative 3, 3 attacks. Leadership 10 and 2 up saves. Excellent save there. Good stat line. 100 points. It's Master Crafted Nemesis Demon Hammer. So nasty weapon. Crack grenades, psych out grenades, and then a Cyber Eagle with 2 heads. So look, this one. We know the other weapon. I'm just going to check out the Cyber Eagle. See if it does anything good. Here it is. Range 24, strength 4, assault D6. Right, so you can scratch and scratch out eyes and stuff. He's got access to his Psycho, Master level 2, Stubborn. He's got access to Sanctic, Demonology, Divination, Pyromancy, Telekinesis, and Telepathy. So broad spectrum he's got available. Demon Hunter is his warlord trait. And then I've been expecting, if an enemy unit arrives from reserves within 12 inches of Cortez and within his line of sight, Cortez and his unit can immediately make an out-of-sequence shooting attack against it. There is no limit on how many times the ability can be used in a turn. Oh, it's not one use only. Lord of Formosa. If a detachment includes Cortez, all non-vehicle units in the same detachment have objectives secured. Special rule. A unit of this special rule controls objectives even if an enemy scoring unit is within range. Yeah, that's usual. Spy Network. Cortez allows you to reroll the dice for siege initiative or force your opponent to reroll his. Whoa. Not bad. Not bad. There's some pretty good perks there for him. 100 points. Don't pay any extra for any upgrades. Just a flat 100 points. It's not bad. Next one is Inquisitor Karamazov. 200 points. Strange one. It almost looks like something that belongs in the world of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, but he's like a crazy dreadnought here. But not really. It's not a vehicle stat line. So weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 5, 4 wounds, initiative 4, 3 attacks, leadership 10 and 2 up save. It's more of the Grey Knight kind of angle there with the Dread Knight. More of a tougher 2 up save model. Mastercrafted multi-melter, Mastercrafted power sword, and that will be at strength 5. Frag and crack grenades, psych out grenades, rad grenades. Just a reminder of what they are. During a turn in which a unit equipped with rad grenades launches an assault or is assaulted, the enemy units suffer minus penalty to their toughness. Wow. Then orbital strike relay, which is here. Once per game, the bearer can call down an orbital strike. In his shooting phase, this counts as firing a ranged weapon with one of the following profiles. It doesn't prevent the bearer and his unit from declaring a charge. So a barrage bomb, they're all infinite range. Strength 6 AP4 large blast, ordnance D3. Orbital. Nasty. The orbital's the crazy scatter. Always scatters the full 2d6. BS doesn't make any difference if an arrow is rolled, so Not too bad. Still pretty good. Ordnance D3, that was a good one. Lance Strike, strength 10 AP1, one shot. Psych Out Bomb, strength 6 AP4, Ordnance 1, Large Blast, Psyshock and Orbital for that one. Psyshock here for unit containing at least one model with the Psyker, Bravo to Psychers, or Psychic Pilot special is hit by a weapon with the Psyshock special rule. One randomly determined Psyker in that unit suffers perils, in addition to any other damage. Okay. He's a Witch Hunter's Warlord trait, Relentless, an independent character. There's a good stat line here. It is expensive though, 200 points. By any means necessary, when Inquisitor Karamazov's orbital strike relay is used, you can choose to place the blast marker so its centre is over a friendly model rather than enemy, even if that friendly model is in combat. If you do so, the shot does not scatter all models under the template hit as normal. Whoa, that's a weird rule. Could come in really handy though. That locked in some deadly combat. Just to divert the shot. Hit your own model, but maybe, you know, hopefully take out more of the opponent. Dread reputation. Inquisitor Karamanov can always choose to pass or fail round pinning tests as he wishes. For any units within 12, reroll failed round pinning. Well, he's pretty good. He is good. Then Throne of Judgment. He cannot embark upon vehicles or buildings. Okay. But no, good stat line. Some pretty good powers. So what's his weapon? It's a power sword, isn't it? Mastercrafted power sword. Yeah. Interesting. So that's him. Next one's Ordo Malleus Inquisitor. 25 points. So cheap there. But weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 3, 3 wounds, initiative 3, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 4 up save, bolt pistol, chainsaw, frame crack grenades and psych out grenades. He's stubborn. They are psychers. I think the upgrade comes later. He's got access to Sanctic Demonology, Demonology Malefic, Divination, Pyromancy, Telekinesis and Telepathy. So broad spectrum for him. He has access to melee weapons, ranged weapons and inquisitional relics. We'll come back to relics later on. You may replace any weapon with one of the following. Come to in a minute. So war gear for these. So melee weapons first of all. Power weapon, power fist, that's fine, that's all standard. Ranged weapons. Combi melter plasma flamer, plasma pistol, that's all fine. And then the relics, will come to that later. So, you may replace any weapon with a demon blade. Demon blade, strength of the user, AP dash, melee two-handed demonic powers. Every demon blade has 2 demonic powers randomly generated from the following list before the arm is deployed. Roll 2d6 to determine each power. If the same result is rolled twice, you can choose the demon blade's second demonic power. 2 to 3 is warp flame. Attacks made with the demon blade are resolved at +3 strength. Next is unholy speed. He gets +3 attacks. Wow. Ether blade, he has an AP of 2. A Vampire. When the demon blade inflicts an unsaved wound, its wielder immediately gains +1 wound. Okay, demonic feud. Close combat attacks from this sword always wound models with the demon special on 2+. Furthermore, models with the demon special must reroll any successful invuln saves. Death lust. The wielder of the demon blade has furious charge and rage. And then next one is the wielder of the demon blade has feel no pain and eternal warrior. Next one is he has poison 2+ to wound. And then familiar, the wielder generates 1 additional warp charge point in each of his turns. In addition, the demon blade gains the force. Yeah, crazy weapon that. And that is 15 points, I think, for him to take that. Yeah. Next, he's got access to a hell rifle here. here. Strength 6 AP 3, range 36, heavy 1 rending. Pretty nasty weapon. 15 points to take that. Next is an incinerator, which I think we know the rules. So that's Grey Knight weaponry there. It's the torrent weapon. Very nasty for him. 15 points. Only 25, so you know for 40 points you can get some, you know, him plus a pretty good upgrade. Nemesis Demon Hammer for 15 points as well. You may take any of the following: Cybolt, this is all Grey Knight says, Cybolt ammunition, Empyrean Brain Mines, which is here. Empyrean Brain Mines used at the start of the fight sub-phase. Nominate one enemy model in base contact with the bearer. That model must pass an initiative test. If it's passed, there's no problem. If the test is failed, the victim has been rendered momentarily catatonic and cannot strike any blows during this fight sub-phase. Not bad. You can take power armor for 3 points. You can replace bolt pistol, chainsaw, frame crack grenades with Terminator armor. Whoa, Terminator armor, Ordo Melius Inquisitor. Wow. And then it's 40 points, but he does come then with a Stormbolt and Nemesis Demon Hammer. You may replace Terminator's armor Stormbolter with Combi Flamer Melter Plasma or a Psy Cannon. You may upgrade to Master Level 1. An Inquisitor who is a Psyker may replace any weapon with a Force weapon for free. So, not bad, it's a good stat line there. 3 wounds, remember, and 3 attacks as well, so there's potential with him. Next one then is Ordo Hereticus Inquisitor. Classic miniature here. Never come up against this kind of stuff. 25 points for him. Bolt pistol, same stat line as over here, I think. Yep. Bolt pistol, chainsaw, frame crack grenades, psychic grenades, independent character, and stubborn. It's all standard. Psyker, he's got access to demonology, sanctic, divination, pyromancy, telekinesis, and telepathy. He's got access to the melee weapons, ranged weapons, and relics. And you can give an Inferno pistol, 10 points. The Condemned Nor bolt gun. Thunderhammer, 20 points. Null Rod. I'd like to see this one. Strength of the user AP 3. Then Witchbane. Any unsafe wounds inflicted on a model with Psyker or Brotherhood of Psykers rule with Null Rod have instant death. Furthermore, the bearer and their squad cannot be targeted by psychic powers. Whoa. Just total denial on psychic powers there. If you take a Null Rod. Crazy. That is 25 points then. You may take power armor for 3 points. You may take a Psy column. Psyo column 134. It's here. Counters being ballistic skill 10 if shooting a unit containing one or more models of Psyker, Brotherhood of Psyker, Psyker Pilot. However, the shore has no effect if the bearer and his unit are firing snapshots. Is it him and his unit? Yep. Cool. So again, handy little upgrade. That one. 25 points though. You might upgrade to Psycho Mastery level 1, 30 points. You could easily start paying out the points here. And then you may take a Force Weapon free of charge. Fascinating units here. Ordo Xenos Inquisitor. Oh, so maybe it's like an Inquisitor that's designed to go after certain types. So, Renegade Guard, Chaos Space Marines, who you might be better off fighting against. Not sure what factions, but Xenos here, so you're looking at going after the Xenos factions with this guy. 25 points for the Ordo Xenos Inquisitor. Same stat line, same all down here. Psyker, if you want to upgrade him to Master Level 1 for 30 points. He's got access then to Power Sword for 10 points, Needle Pistol 15 points, a Scything Venom Talon, a Scythian Venom Talon, Strength of the user, melee and poison 2+, 15 points for that. Oh, expensive. Conversion Beamer, may take any of the following: digital weapons, rad grenades, psychotrope grenades, I have to check them. Psychotrope grenades. Here. When a unit equipped with psychotrope grenades launches an assault or is assaulted, roll d6 for each enemy unit being assaulted or assaulting. See what the effect is. Effects of this gas. Note the descriptions include below have been based on the recorded responses of human subjects. Alien races, of course, will react in their own inimitable fashion through the game, though the game effect is unchanged. Right, so who's this? Smells a bit odd. The unit that has resisted the gas, no effect. Number 2, suddenly it's also clear. The enemy unit is hit automatically in this assault phase. They can still fight, but with a maximum of 1 attack per model to represent their maddened flailing. Well, this does not affect Hammer of Wrath or Stomp. Next one, you reroll failed to hit rolls against the enemy unit during this phase. Assault phase, the enemy unit is reduced to leadership 2 for the remainder of the assault phase. They're horrible. The world is spinning. Number 5, the enemy unit is reduced to initiative 1 for the remainder of the assault phase. And then 6, they say that your friends, every model in the enemy unit must immediately take an initiative test. Every model. Any models that fail, you're bound to lose some. Because it's models, you've got 10 models in the unit, you have to roll 10 dice. Any models that fail must strike blows against their own unit during the assault phase rather than against the enemy, exactly as if they were on your side. Wounds inflicted must be allocated amongst the entire unit. Do not just adjust unaffected models. Not just unaffected models. Unsaved wounds caused by affected models count towards your close combat total. Units composed of single models reroll this result. Yeah, nasty that actually. And that's the psychotrope grenades. Yeah, pretty nasty actually. 15 points. Yeah, pretty nasty that. Potentially cause a lot of trouble. And then the Ulamify Plasma Siphon. Models firing plasma weapons, including combi, plasma, and such as plasma rifles of the tower, within 12, count as ballistic skill 1. Weird. Very weird. That's 10 points for that. Given power armor for 3 points, you can push up to master level 1 for 30 points and force weapon. No, I like that. Psychotrope grenades is cool. Rad grenades, yeah, pretty good. Acolytes, 12 points. So, oh boy, these are so cheap. 12 points for 3 of them, so 4 points a model. Chainsword and las pistol, so these are like the cultists, cheap cannon fighters. Only one model on display here, but yeah, maybe you could paint up some old Empire models from Warhammer Age of Sigmar and do them in this medieval style and just have droves of them at 4 points each. You can take an extra 9, so you can have a unit of up to 12. Good for bodyguard work. Psychic Beacon. Friendly units do not scatter with a deep strike so long as the first model is placed within 6 of a model with a special rule. This model must have been on the battlefield at the start of the turn in order for this special rule to be used. Any Acolyte could be upgraded to a Mystic, 6 points. Same stat line, but just gets the bonus there. Any Acolyte may take items from Acolyte weapons and or armour lists. Okay. Acolyte. Bolt guns are points, Storm Bolters 3 points, Hot Shot Las Gun 5 points. So you can give that to them, BS3. And you can take, I suppose it's here, armour, Acolytes. Not sure about this. Carapace armour is 2 points, power armour is 5 points. And or armour lists, yeah, so you could upgrade these Acolytes to decent armour. They come with 5+ as standard. Our 3 Acolytes can take melee weapons, ranged weapons, special weapons, and war gear. They can take melter bombs, 5 points a time, and they can take transports. Strange unit that. Imagine you can soon upgrade them pretty well. Yep. No, interesting. Sure, you can come up with some pretty interesting stuff. I'm not sure how many other models Games Workshop have of acolytes. Maybe it's just this one. And you'd have to do some conversion work to make a larger unit for them. Right, Demon Host is next. So, 10 points for these. Oh, so weird, all this stuff. Demon Host, Strength and Toughness 4 for them, Weapon Skill, Ballistic Skill 3, Leadership 8, Infantry, 1 close combat weapon. The model's so weird. Demon. Oh, so weird. To have that in Imperial Army. Oh, it's crazy. 5+ in 1 save. Roll d6 at the start of each friendly turn for each unit that contains one or more demon hosts to determine which ability all the demon hosts in that unit manifest. Unless otherwise stated, each manifestation lasts until the start of your next turn. So you can take Reknit host form, they get Feel No Pain. The demon hosts. To understand. What's the size of the unit? 1. It's infantry. It's not a character, so it can't join anything. I don't know, I'm just really confused with this one. You can't buy extra demon hosts, there's only one of them, and you can't purchase more. So it's just a 10-point model. Really weird. You then get Warp, Grasp. In the assault phase, each demon host can attack using the following profile: Strength user AP2, melee, only on 1 attack. Demonic speed, they gain fleet and initiative increases to 10. Next is Warp Strength. Strength characteristic goes up to 6. It's all so random though. Energy Torrent. You can make a shooting attack, range 24, strength 4, AP3, blast, and then Unholy Gaze. In the shooting phase, each demon host can make a shooting attack with range 24, strength 4, strength 8, AP4, assault 1. So random though. Never bothered with that one. Strange. Right, Chikara Weaponsmith. Again, never seen it used in the game. I get strange models here. 35 points. Weapon skill 1, ballistic skill 3, strength 2, toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 3, 1 attack, leadership 8. It's infantry, sort of, it's a monkey. Defense orbs. It's got a 5+ in 1. Digital weapons, and then inconceivable customization. When unit containing 1 or more Chikara is deployed, roll a d6 on the following chart. Each time you roll, add 1 to the result for each Chikara in the unit beyond the first. All results apply for the duration of the game. So, each Chikara in the unit beyond the first. But then where does it say I can take more than 1? It doesn't. You just pay for 1 and then it doesn't let me purchase more. So I'm not sure what that's about there. But aesthetic alteration, there's nothing there. Number 2, improved gun sights. All non-template ranged weapons in the unit have their maximum range increased by 12. Pretty cool. Reinforced armour. Models in the unit treat their armour save as being 1 better. Pretty good actually. Penetrating ammunition. All ranged weapons have rending. Wow. Again, it's so random though. It is so random. And then augmentive energy fields. All units have a 5+ in 1. All models in the unit, and then 6 or more. So there's the incentive for you to take more of these things. Pick any 2 of the first 5 results on the table and apply both to the unit. Wow, so there's a big incentive to try and hit that 6+. Chikara Ingenuity. Chikara can have his digital weapons fire as one of the following weapons: a las cannon, a multi-artillery heavy flamer. Choose which of the weapon is fired. So he's got a brilliant shooting attack as well. All Chikara in the same unit must choose the same weapon. Pretty good. And pretty deadly actually. So yeah, pretty interesting. Right, it says Chimera for them. Don't need to worry about any of that. Here's the warband, which there's your it's quite broad. It's an inquisitor of any type, including unique units. 1 unit of acolytes you have to take: 0 to 1 minister and priest, 0 to 1 crusaders, 0 to 6 demon hosts, 0 to 1 Acroflagellants, 0 to 1 Difficult Assassins, 0 to 1 Tech Priest Enginseer, 0 to 6 Jacaria Weaponsmiths, and then 0 to 1 Astropath. Right, so mystery solved. These units form a single unit. So now go back. You just take multiple single ones of them, you put them in the formation, and then it all becomes one unit. And then therefore you then start to get the bonuses of the extra models. They're on here, for example. So that's solved. So you can have a nice big mix. Special rules for this warband. Authority of the Inquisition. An Inquisitor. This can be unique. Inquisitor from this formation can generate and use a warlord trait, even if they're not your army's warlord. Okay, and then Chambers Militant. This formation's Inquisitor may have requisitioned additional support from one of the Chambers Militant, according to the Ordo they hail from. So an Inquisitorial Henchman warband includes an Ordo Malleus Inquisitor or Inquisitor Cortez, may also include a Grey Knight Terminator squad. Weird. An Inquisitorial Henchman warband includes an Ordo Hereticus, may also take Adeptus Sororitas Battle Sisters squad. Okay, so include them into the lump together as one unit. Really weird. And then a Henchman warband is Order Xenos, can take Death Watch veterans in mixing in amongst the models. Yes, really strange. Really one of the weirdest reviews I think I've done so far. But interesting warband, that Henchman warband, pretty good. Right, so just the appendix here. So warlord traits, there's a few extra bits here. Unquestionable wisdom, the warlord and his unit choose to pass or fail any morale checks they're called upon to make. The reader of the Tarot, whilst the warlord is arrived, you can roll 2 dice and choose the result when rolling for reserves, outflank mysterious terrain and mysterious objectives. Burner of Worlds, once per game your warlord can call down an orbital attack in the shooting phase. This counts as firing a ranged weapon. The following profile does not prevent him from declaring a charge on the same turn. Range infinite. Strength 10 if you want, ordnance, barrage, large blast, and then orbital, which means if you roll an arrow on your scatter, you go the full 2d6. You can't use your ballistic skill. Warlord traits, depends which one you go for. Malleus, Hereticus, or Xenos. Right, okay. On a 1 you get Unquestionable Wisdom. On a 2 you get Reader of the Tarot. Number 3, Burner of Worlds. All covered there, and then the last 3, so 4, 5 and 6 are different for each. The warlord and his unit have preferred enemy demons for here, then over here it's preferred enemy psychers, and then over here it's preferred enemy the warlord and his unit have preferred enemy special rule in targeting an enemy non-vehicle units with the following faction: any Xenos, so Dark Elder, Harlequins, Necrons, Orcs, Tau, Tyranids, and Genestealer cults. Number 5 is Incorruptible for Ordo Malleus. All units from the Demon Special Rule within 12 of the warlords have -1 penalty to their invuln. Okay, and this is cumulative for any other modifiers. Over here it's Will of Iron. The warlord has Adamantium Will, and here it's Xenotech Collector. Warlord has a 6+ invuln. In addition, select one of the warlord's ranged weapons. That weapon gains +1 strength and rending for the duration of the battle. And then the last one is Forbidden Law. If the warlord is a psyker, he generates 1 additional warp charge point in each of his turns. If the warlord is not a psyker, he has Adamantium Will. Master of Interrogation. Enemy infiltrators cannot be set up anywhere within 24. And then here, Purity of Mankind. The warlord and his unit to have Hatred special rule. So that's that. The melee weapons all covered, I think. Here's the vehicle equipment. True Silver Armour. Model with, I think we covered this in Grey Knights. No, I have. Model with Demons, Psychus, Provided Psychus, Psychic Pilot Special Rule succeeds in hitting a vehicle in close combat, suffers a strength 6 hit in return For each hit, once damage has been resolved against the vehicle. Okay, that's that. Ranged weapons. Covered these, I think. Covered all those. There's the grenades, rag grenades, psychotrope grenades, Uminify, E-Fire, plasma, siphon, covered. Relics. This is the last bit here. A couple of relics. So, a Liber Heresius. That's the first one. Cheap here. Right, so 15 points then will get you the start of any friendly turn. The bearer can take a leadership test. If the test is failed, nothing happens. If the test is passed, choose one of the special rules from the list below. The bearer of the Liber Heresius and his unit gain that special rule until the start of the next turn. So nice flexibility, you've got choice. The same special rule cannot be gained in this way more than once per game, so you've got to tick them off once you choose a different special rule each time. So you must choose a different one each time. Scout, split fire, counterattack, fear and hatred. Okay, not that amazing. Okay. Next one is Grimoire of True Names. The bearer of this upgrade is fighting in a challenge against a model with demon. He suffers -5 penalty to his weapon skill, initiative and leadership. It's kind of weird. And it's only 5 points. Not bad if you know you're up against demons. And so 5-point upgrade. And then the Tome of Vethric. If your opponent's army contains any units with the faction below, the bearer of the tome gains the corresponding special rule. For example, if your opponent army included units of Eldar and others the Town Empire faction, the bearer would also have Furious Charge and Split Fire. Cool, so you just match it up here. So Tyranids or Genestealers, Monster Hunter, that's what he gets. Tau, get Furious Charge. Necrons, Tank Hunters. Orcs, Counterattack. Harlequins, Split Fire, and Eldar, and then Dark Eldars, Night Vision. Cool, so sort of specialising in dealing with those certain types of Xenos. Just there, and that is 20 points. Alright, so that is the review for that. Pretty lengthy because it's just full of stuff. There's so much inside here. Games Workshop have pulled it all together into one book. I think it's very handy, especially if you're an Imperial player. So maybe you've got Space Marines, Sisters of Battle, or Grey Knights, or Imperial Guard, Skitarii. Then you can delve into this, pick out some tiny little detachments and add them into your army. So brilliant flexibility there. And if you fancy some of those units, say Death Watch for example, you don't want to spend out a whole big army, you just want to take a little unit, just a few men, stick them in a flyer, then here's the ability to do it. Very well organised inside here, and there's some real gems of units that I've never come across before, but there's some real good ones in there for their points value. But there it is, Imperial Agents, interesting codex, one of the weirdest I think I've done. But I've got mine for gamingfigures.com. You can check them out. They do Games Workshop at discounted rate, and orders over £40 in the UK get free delivery, as well as your discount 15% off if your order is the usual discount, and then orders over £100 they take off another 5% from your order. So you can check them out. That's gamingfigures.com. But that's the review. Leave your comments and feedback about this release as a book. Any rumours you think of what's to come? I know some of the rumours that are going around. I think it's interesting times ahead, exciting times ahead, I think, for Warhammer 40,000. Games Workshop on a good path at the moment. I think they're doing very well. Just for the things that are coming out, they seem to be heading in a good direction, which is good. And then leave your comments about particular units as well and combinations that you go for. But that's the review for Codex Imperial Agents. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.